another great episode of Kyndra's Corner. We got a special guest tonight. We got a special guest. Before I go ahead and bring on that guest, man, it's a few things that I want to let y'all know. I am so tired of coming across a lot of you men who are over the age of 40 getting online talking about, oh, I need me a bad female. Sir, you need a prostate exam. Okay, and ladies, if you claim that your vagina is fine, please tag us two references. Okay. With that being said, man, we got some special guests in the building. But I want to go ahead and bring out our recurring champion. That's what I call him. He's like the WWE champion, everything else like that of just tomfoolery. He'll sit here and be like, I don't mean to put your business out there, but and then he will. Let me go ahead without further ado, bring Kyndra Lance to the stage.
You sad. That'll better goddamn sense. Talk about after the age of 40, boy. I can't get a bad female. You need some references. Go ahead on with your bad self.
Come on. I'm just saying.
Go ahead on.
I'm just saying.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Like a female Kevin Samuels. That's what you are. Female Kevin Samuels.
Come on. I don't have time for it. And let me go ahead, man. Let's go ahead and bring out our next guest to the stage, man. He's a newcomer. I've been trying to get this brother on for a while. But he's out there running his multi-millionaire. He got two businesses, okay? He got two businesses doing what he's got to do, taking care of his kids, okay? So he's a high-value man. Ladies, you're going to come to him. You got to come correct. You can't just step to him in any type of way, all right? Or else your messages will be on, can't send them at all. They just, it's like, remember back in the day, if you didn't have like on the call, on the house phone and someone didn't set up a mailbox, like it's like it just gonna forever just be sending like that circular message, everything. That's just how important this man is, right? And he just finished getting off tour with Will Smith. He wrote his last album for him. Let me go ahead and bring Tevin to the stage. Tevin, how you doing? You driving that Maybach and you can't even see his face. He don't want to be seen because he don't want y'all coming for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for real. How y'all doing though? Everybody's good?
Yep, everything is well.
Amen.
Hey, listen, Tevin, I appreciate you, brother, for definitely coming on and everything else like that and making your presence be known.
I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course. Well, let me go ahead. How was y'all's week? How has the week been? Tevin, go ahead. You're our special guest. Go ahead and tell us. How has your week been, brother?
It's been good, man. Definitely in a better mental space compared to last week.
Good.
So that's good.
No, that's actually excellent because mental health is something that we can't play about. And one thing I learned about, especially with men, you all honestly suffer worse. Y'all have to really deal with it a lot worse. Like women, we're the ones who are coddled. They don't care about y'all. They don't. They're like, oh, sorry, what's wrong with y'all? Why should you cry? Excuse me?
All they'll tell us to shut up and go see a psychiatrist because I don't want to hear your cries. A psychiatrist we can't afford, of course, but that's all right. It's just, I guess it's life. We just have to accept reality for what it is.
Accept it for what it is. Lance, how about your week? How's your week been, brother?
Matter of fact, outside of these 3 jobs I work, I've noticed that just now, about an hour ago here in Atlanta, Georgia, officially this year, we have experienced all forms of precipitation that ever fell on this planet. This year, we've experienced snow, we've experienced hail just now, we've experienced rain and sleet and freezing rain this year. So, of course, Atlanta, we've officially experienced every form of precipitation. So, congratulations, Atlanta's bipolar weather.
Listen. That's why I'm trying to get out and go to a Spanish-speaking country. Let me go ahead, man. Without further ado, bring out the first question of the night. First question, and Tevin, I'm gonna bring to you first. So we were talking about mental health, and when it comes with mental health, one of the things I've learned, this is gonna be one of those, we have our laughs, but also we gotta get serious. So one of the serious questions I want to bring in is about generational curses. And you don't realize this until you get older and understand how much it's affecting you. So the question is, what were some generational curses that you had to break? And by the time you realize the impact it had on your life?
That's a good question. For me, I feel like a generational curse my family goes through is really the lack of emotional intelligence. Just on the part of we don't care about anybody else's feelings when we're trying to feel or act on something. And for me, I had to really be emotionally and mentally aware of myself as an individual to understand like, hey, my actions has consequences not just towards me, but even towards others, even if it's direct or indirect. So I feel like that's one of the generational curses I had to kind of like conquer and still trying to conquer. And I also feel like mental health, man. Like mental health is it's like a tumbleweed in a ghost town in my family. Nobody really speaks on it. Nobody really check on people about it, and we're supposed to be family, right? But we don't do that though. And I really had to get into mental health myself, like as far as like educating myself on it, even being aware, like, hey, I have bad mental health some days, so I had to like I'm trying to break that curse too. Like I'm talking to my kids about mental health, checking in like with my kids' moms and stuff like that. Even like my sister, even like I asked my dad and stuff like that. So I'm trying to break it, man. But you can't do it alone. Even though it's on you, you still can't do it alone.
That's powerful. How by you mentioned with the emotional intelligence, when did you realize it was becoming a problem? Were you like, yo, there's something off? When was it like a second relationship? Was it you had one of your homeboys like, bro, are you okay? Like, why don't you care? Like, or whatever else it may be.
Um, like, it was,
Honey, wait, you're breaking in and breaking out.
you said what?
I said you were breaking in and breaking out. So,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can. Yeah, we can hear you better now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm by these trees. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better, much better.
Okay, yeah. I was saying, oh yeah. It was a woman that I was dating that kind of checked me, like on my emotions for us, like how I'm handling things emotionally. It's not only affecting me that she made aware about, of course, and it's also affecting her. And the thing is, when you really be in it, you don't care about how your emotions is coming off. You're just trying to feel them, right? So having somebody who's aware enough to and like that's looking on the outside of and say like, bruh, or ma'am, or whatever, like you need to check your emotions, bruh, because your emotions is really making you do, like some illogical things, and you're acting out of whack. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, bruh, you acting out of whack, man. You need to check that. So ever since then, I kind of been more aware of like how I'm managing my emotions, not even with myself, but whoever I'm dealing with, friends, family, a partner or whatever.
That's it. That's real. I love it. I love it. Okay. And yes, you are right. You definitely. That's why it's always good to have those accountability partners. We need people to let us know, like, bro, you effing out right now, right? Now the truth does hurt, but you're gonna really appreciate it at some point later on down the line. Lance, same question with you. Do you want me to repeat the question, or you think you got it?
I think I got it. Now, me on a personal level, I honestly, okay, it's as a person that spawned into this life, naturally being a part of my generation, it's hard for me to tell what a generational curse is in my life, or this came from my generation, or I'm suffering because it's hard for me to really decipher what it is. So I'm just gonna assume what it is. Um, so according to what I've heard, and like I said, I don't really know my generation like that. I don't really know my grandparents and my father's family like that. I don't really know my family, but what I've heard stories of that they had a lot of woman abuse in there in my generation. A lot of men beat their wives and stuff like that. That would have heard. I'm not really sure. I'm not trying to put nothing out like that, but and it felt that. And now my story may sound bent or distorted because it just I'm trying to put it together the best way I can. You know, according to people I've talked to that done readings and stuff like that. Well, not really readings, but just people who just told me in a very logical, clear, lucid way. They telling me that I'm either going to or I'm currently suffering for them, you know, because it felt like I am, and I tell this a lot. I don't like repeating this, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. I've always been this grandiose type simp. Okay, I've always felt that I had to pay for the men in my generation that treated women like trash, and it felt like I was always the first one in my entire family, or just that exists in the black community that acts like this. You know, that's why people look at me so weird and stuff like that. And it felt like almost every woman around me, well, not every woman, but the majority of the women around me, you know, that I walk with, that I date, that I interact with, they always dump their anger out on me like I deserve to suffer. And I've never understood why don't y'all take this anger out on men who actually hurt you? Why do I have to always come behind the exes that y'all didn't friend zone and I have to clean it up? I was like, I kind of had to sit back. I was like, is this something? Am I just cleaning up the trash of the men that hurt women in the past? Do I exist just to be a, how can I say, a floor cleaner or like a shrimp to just eat the scum off the bottom of the ocean? And I always had trepidation like that. And every time, like you said, mental health with black men, every time I vent my pain, or like, let me see, like if I vent to anybody, being like, I didn't hurt you, please don't hurt me. And then I was always blasted with this notion of, listen, Lance, shut up. You have to understand us women are oppressed. If we want to take our anger out on you, we can. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear none of your cries. Go see a psychiatrist if you want to cry, because I don't want to hear I'm hurt, you're not. Let me take my anger out of you. So I've always just want, and I've never can afford a psychiatrist, and I don't really believe in therapy like that. That's just something the majority of us men don't really believe in, and that's for another video. But so I just have to sit here and be like, you know what if I am just here, just having to pay for the karma for the previous men in my life? Well, do I really have to? If that's the case, then I might as well just sit in reality and just accept that, because there's no point of going against the waves. What if I chose to be here? What if that's something that God put me on the earth to do? Because of course, these men aren't paying for that. They're probably out there still beating women. I don't know these men. I don't know what they're doing right now. I guess God just created me just to be the one, just to be the custodian, just to clean up the mess. I don't know. So that's just my take on everything. I don't know.
I understand, and you know
That
what?
was deep.
Let me say this as well. When you had mentioned about a lot of people in your family, men, were just abusive, and you're doing everything that you can to not be like that. So I guess let me ask you guys a quick follow up question. I'll go ahead and answer this question. Often, we're shown two different types of ways that we should live our life. Especially if we grew up in a certain household or whatever. How is it that too far often we end up being like those same people? And then how are there some people who have the strong power not to go that way? Tevin, you can
You go
answer first.
first. Yeah.
Um, that's a good question, man. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's a like a subconscious thing because sometimes, and I heard this saying. I feel like Shannon Sharp said that, or Shannon Sharp grandma, one or two, and he said something along the lines of like you will become the very thing you despise.
Mm,
So depending on how your the household you grew up in and what you seen, even though you hated that behavior as a child, something in your DNA, if there's no intervention or something like that, comes through and makes you behave like the very person you despise, whether it's your mom, sister, brother, father. Because I've been through that. It was like I seen like how my mom used to carry herself, and it was a phase where she wasn't carrying herself in a healthy way. And as I got older, I started to do some of them things, especially when it came down to relationships and just feeling like, bro, I'm not in the wrong about anything. You are,
Mm.
because she was like that for a minute, and I saw that, and I was like, what the f is wrong with my mom, and why she act like this, And then I started to do that. I carried that right into like my relationship, especially early on, like right out of high school, like in my 20s and stuff like that. So like going back to the original point, like sometimes subconsciously, without any intervention or awareness, sometimes you could be the very thing you despise, bro, in a family member in your household.
And you know what? Let me go ahead and segue to what I was gonna say. Unless Lance, did you want to answer that same question, or did you or
Well,
do you?
I do think about that so much myself because I know for a fact that I get my traveling from my father because he's a truck driver. He drives everywhere, and I used to live in my car on purpose, and I travel to Canada and stuff like that. I know where I get that from, but I've never understood why I'm the first man that's not like what I was told my family was like. It feels like, and I'm not sure. So if you're my family, don't kill me if I say this. I don't know. It feels like I am the first man in my family that never put my hands on a woman, and I don't know how the hell I detach from that. Like I don't know why I'm the first person in my family to like be a nomad, travel the world, and it feels like I'm so much not like the rest of what my family says. Like, how did I become the opposite? Why I'm not out there fucking hoes every day and having baby mamas everywhere? It's very confused. I don't know what like broke me out of that. It's weird. So that's just something I'm just confused about. I don't know.
That's good. That's good, man. Not being a statistic. Well, let me go ahead. I'm gonna give y'all my answer. Generational curses of I want to say that I recognize anger, right? Because man, let me tell you something. Please, you did not want to sit here and get on my bad side, man, because I had to really stop wanting people to die every time I got mad. Right? Like I was killing people off left and right.
That's tough. That's tough. That needs some prayer right there.
Let me tell you guys how bad my anger got. This is a dark joke for y'all. So my anger was so bad, especially in middle school, that I was gonna be the first black school shooter.
Yeah,
What?
too soon, dog. Too soon. Too soon.
Oh, my question is, did you actually make that name public? Like, did you actually
No,
have
I
that as
could
a
I
nickname?
couldn't. Like I
Oh,
would
okay,
no,
okay,
I would be on
okay.
first 48. Like America's Most Wanted teenager version, man. It
Right.
was bad. Because you know what? I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because I could not understand. I was so nice. Very nice. You're taught treat people the way you want to be treated. And as soon as you get to middle school, that leaves because the kids' frontal lobe is not developed. They're just bullying. That's when I got started getting very like bullied bad. So I just started plotting people's death, like so bad. Then I was like so close to even bringing like when I got to high school, bringing weapons to school to try to stab
Okay.
folks, man. Like
And by the way,
people
we're not judging you. By the way, we're
no,
not
it's
judging you.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, this is my what can people say? This is my story to tell. I've said it. It's fine. That was what I do comedy for. To sit here and be able to tell my life. You got some folks who are too afraid, baby. I sit here and I share it. Okay, Kendra's corner. But yeah, I literally that my father was very angry. He was very angry a lot, like just always
Mm.
going off, always all of that. Another generational curse. I want to say lust, right? And
Mm.
I
Mm.
would say for me,
Because you
and
add that to mine too.
you got to okay, add that to yours too. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, add
And
that to mine too. Mine's bad.
hold on, but you start cutting in and cutting out. You say yours was bad. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the lust thing, it
okay.
was bad. Not to cut you off. Oh yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, no, it can. What people don't understand, and Lance has had this conversation. He said this on the pod. I'm sure he said this on the podcast, but he's definitely had this conversation with me off the record. But sex is yeah. He definitely has said this on the podcast. Like, sex is destructive. It's dangerous. Like, they literally placed
Uh,
it everywhere. Like, Lance, can you quickly talk about the bra, like the advertisement for bras? Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so yes, definitely. I it like okay, yeah, I did say this last time because I remember repeating this. Yes, so literally, if you get the 3 laptops in my room and the 3 phones right now, and you go through every folder and every email, you go through my cookies, you get my hard drive, you get every bit of data in all of my devices. You would not find a naked photo. You wouldn't even find the word sex. You wouldn't find no porn video. You would find nothing connected to sex. But I literally went on Instagram, literally about a month or two ago, and I typed in weather. I screen recorded this, so I have proof. Literally, I screen recorded. I typed in weather on Instagram. The only thing you seen was a big booty model showing their ass. I was like, what does this
mm,
got to do with weather? I only seen probably 3 photos of snow. Everything else was ass. Like, I don't think y'all understand in this world. Like, the world keeps saying men shouldn't see women for sex. We're always horny. Why we always horny? How can we possibly not see sex if it's forced in our face? And not only that, to make
yes.
matters even worse, we have to like it. Because if we don't like it, there's only 2 things people's gonna say about us, and it's always negative. We're either gay or we just hate women. So it's like,
Mm,
okay,
that
we
part.
have we're just forced to love a woman's cleavage. If we don't, oh my gosh, it's like mental rape. It's like we're forced to do it. So if you're a man or a woman that's actually able to go against the grain and still not fall into that, man, I support you. You're already 0.1% of the population because it's so damn near impossible to steer away from that shit these days. But that's my thing.
No, and just like I say, very true. Because to me, it's like I've come across women who are beautiful, like face wise, beautiful. But these women that basically cougars who are on social media, and let's say they have a fire caption, and the picture showing off their face, but they gotta show off the body too. What are you doing that for? Just talk like that.
It's
That
called empowerment. We have to love our body. This is our body, our choice. You can't say nothing about me. But if a man comes into your house sagging his pants, don't y'all tell him to put his pants up?
they
Oh
don't.
no.
They don't. They
Y'all
don't.
don't think, oh, that's his body. I can't tell him what to do with his own body. But you can tell a man to put his pants up. Make that add up.
And and Tevin, let me say this to you real quick, right? Me doing this comedy thing, me trying to, like I say, doing something positive, doing these random polls. One day, I'm gonna hit the streets and everything else like that, and hit the streets with these random polls and stuff like that. And I know I can definitely go
Yeah.
viral. Like, I know God has a really great plan. I just got to go after it. However, when I see people, like I say, these Instagram models, even when we had this new phenomenon with Cooking with Kaya, Cooking with Kaya. So
Yeah.
I kept hearing about Cooking with Kaya. I'm like, who's this Cooking with Kaya? So I go tune in. I said, that's a Jezebel spirit. And I told Lance about
Mm,
Cooking with Kaya. And so Lance went to go pull up and see who she was. He's like, oh my gosh, what is this? I was trying to
right.
figure out, right? Because it's a Jezebel spirit. Her whole tagline is, basically, cook for your men or I will. That's a Jezebel spirit. Why are you half naked, shaking
Mm,
your butt? Why?
And I
Why?
told I told Kyndra when she was at my house the other day. Okay, first of all, my question to most women is, why do you need to show that part of your body? That's my question. Like, out of all parts of your body you want the media to see, Why don't you show your elbow? Why don't you show your chin? Why the part of the body that you use to take a shit? Why do I need to see? Why take a picture of it? What does that do? Oh, I'm doing that for myself. Okay, then why you posting it on social media? Why can't you just leave it in your camera roll? My brain my brain is not braining.
Jezebel spirits. If I'm gonna give you a quick little story. So I used and Lance I was trying to defend Lance to the death about this. And Lance, I'm so sorry that I even was allowed it was a Jezebel spirit within me. Again, that spirit of lust. A lot of it roots. It's all like I say, demonically and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm about to tell you what it is, because a lot of people in this, again, you gotta think spiritual with this, because I don't know where it says it's either Ephesians 6 or Ephesians 3, but the word says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against evil rulers of this world, against spiritual hosts of the high places. And so that pretty much, sums up everything. And so for me, the Jezebel spirit was very heavy within me, right? So what I used to do at one point, I would sit here in the bathtub, and I wasn't like, you knew I was like naked, right? It wasn't like it was like it showed everything, but I'm sitting here freaking naked in the bathtub, singing songs, dancing, and water splashing and everything else, right? And then Lance is like sitting here arguing back and forth with me, like, why do you even have that video out there? Like, and he's like, what are you doing that for? And I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I'm just sitting here having fun. I'm just being me. But again, but what I'm realizing is, and the Bible also speaks about, don't, I can't, something about basically don't eat this meat if it's going to offend your brother, right? Don't be a stumbling block to this person if you know for a fact that they're struggling with it. If you know, for example, for a fact your friend just recovered from alcoholism, don't invite them to a bar. Don't drink around them. Don't do any of that, right? Like you are causing for their downfall. And so for me, for so many, I did this to men, I did this to women. I didn't, as long as you were legal, of course I care. You could not be a child. But so let me put that out there. If you were legal, like I literally, because it was a spirit of manipulation, generational curse. If I wanted to, man, if I really wanted to, I could have been the best madam there was. Like I literally, yes, I had did some pimp. I literally had this pimp mentality on many people at one point, and then I sit here and play the victim. I was a real con artist. Right?
Yeah.
Like literally would have people in their feelings, and I used to thrive off that. That's nothing to be proud of,
Right.
man. I am serious. Like Tevin, when we met some years ago, like I don't know what, 3-4 years ago, I would have had you like crying in the rain. Like,
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
like I literally I had thrived off of being a man's downfall. I did. I literally allowed the devil to overtake me. What's another thing? I would say okay, so what do we check off? Anger, lust, comparison, the spirit, that generational spirit of like comparison
Right.
and competing, right? Like I just was always it was just never enough. I always felt like, why should they get that? I literally what else could I say? I think that was pretty much, like I say, generational curses within that. Um, um, that I can say and everything. Low self esteem, that generational curse as well. Because I had a bad people like, oh my gosh, and people need really. Let me say this, right? Folks really need to stop thinking because a person is attractive that person can't go through stuff. Everybody is human. It doesn't matter if you're pretty or not. It doesn't matter if you're a handsome guy. But neither one of y'all are unattractive. Y'all are good looking brothers, but y'all still go through stuff. I don't know why people make it seem, and that was my whole thing. Like where I would get told, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so pretty," and then people like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" Or and I'm gonna tell you what the problem where I think also my rage where I literally was trying, I wanted to set men up because I got so tired of men claiming that they were interested in me, and I'm showing them interest, and then they would ghost me,
Mm,
um, ask me for money, ask to come
mm,
live with me. I find out that they're in a relationship. Um, Everything is just going well, and then it's like they find out that they're bored, and they were just using me as a placeholder holder until the person that they wanted. Like it got so annoying. But again, like I said, a lot of this, if I would have been safe and secure, number one, if I would have been secure within the Lord, then I definitely would not have had to deal with all this. Like I literally, um, and yeah, and I would say the spirit of like that generational curse of idolatry, and idol worship is, and I'm gonna let this be the last one. Let y'all respond, and we go to question two. But idol worship is it's kind of like a slippery slope because you can make anything an idol, and you may not even realize it's an idol until the Lord reveals it to you. So, like I said,
yeah.
my life is. I will say this, man. My life is so much better now because it's so much that I've had to let go. Um, and everything else like that. And but I am glad, like I say, that being able to let go, and I really like I say that lust was really big because that came into my life at eight, like 7, 8 years old. That I remember. It probably came in younger, but I've had so much trauma that has happened in my life that I don't remember. So, but I will say, man, I was like I say, the first time I remember I think I had a wet dream. I was probably like 13, 14, and it was a girl. I had kissed a girl and I liked it in a dream, and I thought I was gay. All right, yeah, I've said
Mm.
that before. So
I'm done.
and then hold on, I gotta share this one more thing. Hold on, I remember the first time, and then after that, I started dreaming about guys and stuff like that, and then I started lusting after WWE stars. I had this huge thing for John Cena and Randy Orton. And I was like literally trying to. I used to write about them in middle school, and I used to share my journal. And people were like, "Ew, you're so nasty" and stuff like that. Folks thought I was like a hoe already. But the way I was talking in these, bro, I could have look. I would have put Zane out of business. That and Zane is a sex book. She's a sex adult
Yeah,
author.
I know who that is.
No, he doesn't know. Lance doesn't know. I know you know
Oh,
Trevin, but he does. So I gotta
how
catch
you still
Lance.
talking about? I know.
Yeah, so I would have put Zane. That's how crazy my mind went. Like, and then I remember I had a dream. I had a dream like senior year that this guy who literally at the time he was just living his life out there for Satan and whatnot, but he's turned his life over now. But I remember I had a dream that and I never liked him. I actually despised him, but he gave me head and he had my stomach vibrating. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I gotta have that in real life." And I was really gonna try to plot to make this happen for him to make it happen, right? Child, I'm telling you, man, you
That's
gotta
tough.
and listen, and out of mind is a devil's playground, man. Listen, I was her. Okay, I was her at that point, but that wasn't good. Let me get
Bless your bless your heart, man.
uh, anything y'all want to say before I go ahead and go to question two? Lance, any final thoughts on this question? Okay, Tevin, any final thoughts?
No, I'm good. Go ahead with question
Okay,
two.
let's go, Lance. I'm gonna hit you with it first. Now, the tagline for tonight is about what do you believe is harder, being a man trying to oppress a woman, or a woman trying to impress a man?
Okay, so it really depends. Okay, so my answer is gonna be very weird because it's broken up into many things. Okay, it's gonna be
Mhm.
broken up into many things. Okay, first I'm gonna use the I get the simple thing out the way. All right, according to the woman's logic that women teaches me. Like I said, I'm surrounded by women every day, and women tell me X, Y, and Z every day. I'm barely around too many men. Okay, so I'm just going off of what women believe, okay? And I see a totally different reality. So, of course, what I'm saying, everybody can all agree that women are harder to impress because men are the ones that chase women. Men are the ones that pay to get in the clubs to see women. Very,
That part.
very, very, yeah, very, very obvious, okay? According to a lot of women's logic, women, all they have to do is exist to get
Mm-hmm.
any man they believe. That they'll believe. Like a woman is a real woman just for existing. A man has to work and bust his ass to be a man. Like, did you know everybody in the world, men and women, are all teaching men how to be men, but nobody teaching women how to be women because according to society's logic, a woman all she have to do is exist and to get the right man. So technically, according to society's normal logic, like getting a man should be very easy. But this is one thing that I tell women all the time that they don't understand. Okay, and I need if you're a woman, just listen to me clearly before you start shooting me. Okay, it's only easy to get a man that just wants to sleep with you. Okay, it's easy when women say it always been easy to get a man that just wants to sleep with you. All you need is a body to
That's
attract a man that just sees you for your body.
that's
Okay,
it.
this is exactly why the same women say, the same exact identical women also say they never experienced dating a good man because exactly it's because they grew up only being chased by the men that just want to sleep with them. Oh, since me just having a fat ass attracted all these thirsty men, oh, that means only having a fat ass can attract any man. So they go for the rest of their lives only showing their ass, expecting to get any man because they're so used to attracting these thirsty men. They've never experienced attracting a good man before, so they don't know. Their brain can't register what a good man likes. And when we do tell them what a good man likes, oh no, I ain't doing that. I ain't changing for no man. I ain't changing. No, 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 no. I don't need no man. I'm good. I'm happy without a man. But these same exact women are still crying. Where are the good men at? Oh, men ain't shit. Men is that because
Excuse me.
go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to add to what you just said. And guess what? It's usually good men telling these women what a good man is. And guess what they do? Look right over 'em. Now you can continue.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. So yes, we're considered misogynists. Yeah, we probably coming off as hating women. But let me tell you something. Us men will not tell you a comfortable feeling lie.
Mm.
Okay. That's just how it's gonna be. That's reality. Okay. It's easy to get a man to just want to sleep with you, but it's not easy to get an actual man that loves you. It's hard.
Mm.
Just like it's easy to get a woman to go out on a date with you, but it's not easy for a woman to sleep with you. It's like the complete opposite. But yeah, that's my thing. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What else can you say after that? What
That's
else can you really say? Because everything I'm gonna say is really aligned with that. And my thing is going back to what he said. Yes, it's easy for women to get a man who wants to sleep with you, but the thing is, it's harder for it's like it's harder to keep a man for y'all. Why is it
exactly
hard for you to keep a man when you feel like you're this high value woman,
because
and
you
then
know
you
they
have
say.
good men tell you what a good man wants in a woman, and you think you're not prideful enough, but I guess well, I think it's an ego thing, like an ego thing. You think you're already a good woman just because
Mhm,
you don't slash tires, just because you're not messy, just because you're not a cheater, just because you sex good, just because you can cook, do all the basic human stuff, quote unquote. And y'all put high not y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all. A lot of women put high value on that and thinking that's it, but
yep.
don't know how to listen, don't know how to effectively communicate, don't know how to comprehend, don't really know how to be a safe space for his man.
hmm
So it's
Yep.
like back to the original question. Yes, harder to impress a woman. Yes, it's not
hmm
hard to keep one for us. It's harder for a woman to keep a man though, for reasons my brothers just stated.
Yep.
Now, Kendra, I want to hear your opinion since you're the only woman on this podcast right now.
I wasn't supposed.
This is who I'm
I
with.
was supposed to be the only woman. I guess this question sent the other woman. She's like, "I don't have work today." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And She still didn't show up. So, well, let me say this. After listening to you all, I was gonna initially say it was a woman trying to impress a man, especially like I said, I have played the nice role. I played a not so nice role. I've just been myself, everything.
Right.
And it's still the men who I wanted to talk to. Like I said, I've tried. I was told, hey, if you want a certain man, go and show off your body, show off your shape. That way men they'll come to you. That didn't work. Oh, go and or it only worked for a day, and then they got my number. I never heard from them again. Oh, go and wear a weave. Basically, go look like a stripper, right? Because that is what they said. If you want someone in your age group, like teens, late teens, early mid 20s, go and look. So they said stop looking like stop with the natural look because you're gonna keep attracting older men. And I was tired of the older men because the older men just wasn't they've never been my cup of tea. They
Right.
never have been. Like either 5 years older, 5 years younger, not someone 25 and 30. I'm like, bro, what the heck do we have in common? And plus, you're broke. Come on now, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Talking about you some. Oh yeah, I'm an alpha male, but you ain't got no alpha funds. Get out of here.
I'm
Anyway,
done.
anyway. So
Wow.
So it's like for me, literally trying say, hey, just men, y'all are not mind readers. Okay, I know y'all are not mind readers, but then there's some things that are basic things that I would think as a man that you guys, wouldn't know, but you guys don't because hey, some of y'all just have not been taught. So having to deal with that, like and to me, it was always confusing going between men who are not mind readers to uh trying to think about you don't if a man if he really cares he'll pay attention to some men y'all just should know and again it was really hard. Now I will agree with both of what you guys are saying about hey you gotta pay to get to see the females. A lot of men went to go get their license early so they can go to see the hoes like oh you got a car no but I got my do you drive I ain't got my license I'm not gonna talk to you so you go purposely go get your license because it makes you like okay that makes you like yeah I'm a man right because here's the thing as a man you can't work at McDonald's as a cashier and think and the most chicks are gonna want to be with you. A woman, as we can sit there work at McDonald's and we can get hauled at by a millionaire. Now has that when I worked at the minimum wage jobs like those fast food places, that never happened to me. I never had that happen at all. So I'm like, again, is this some type of fairy tale that I think when I hear these scenarios, in my honest opinion, when I hear these scenarios, I think about is that a 1% chance that happens when it comes with people? Y'all can answer that. Tevin, go ahead. Is that a 1% when I hear about women getting picked up at McDonald's like by a millionaire? Is that a 1% or
That's
does
a
that
one. That's under 1%, man. I
Yeah.
really think you
Yeah.
just hear about that in movies.
Yes. Because
I
the
happen?
don't
thing,
even think that's realistic at all.
especially if you're expecting that same millionaire to completely cut out all of his options and only stay loyal to you for the rest of his life and only want to have
That
sex
part.
when
That
you
part.
want,
That
that
part,
Oh
is
man.
no, you should
extremely rare.
you listen. It's a
That part.
contract that y'all have up front. It's a contract. You should already know. Like for example, um, singer Neo Lance. No, you don't because again, Tevin Lance doesn't know celebrities and like at all.
I'm disconnected from
That
society.
that is
Hey, I don't
perfect.
blame you, dog. I do not blame you.
That's how we should all be. Because I'm like, guys, how you gonna sit here not wish your best friend a happy birthday or your mom, but you went to go wish little Bow Wow a happy birthday? He didn't see that anyway. So
Yeah,
stupid.
man.
So let me fast forward. There's a singer named Neo. Neo, let me catch you up to speed, Lance. Neo basically had ended his marriage to one of his marriages to go live this polygamy lifestyle of having four different girlfriends. And so his agreement, and I heard this interview earlier today, his agreement or their agreements all together was that you they have to be exclusive to him, but he can't doesn't have to be exclusive to them. They can't and stuff like that. So he already has that they already have that conversation set up. I think the thing is that's why I said that type of, again, polygamy relationships, which is going to be another conversation for another day. But in order for it to really work for the time being, communication has to be key. That's what I will say about that. But let me go back and say this. For me personally, it was an issue where again I thought that me being attractive, great conversation, nice shape, blase woo, the works, funny. I thought again I would sit here and get that millionaire man, right? I didn't realize that that's a dime a dozen. Or I had this thing for so long. I want to be with a basketball player. I want to be with a football player. That was, or I want to go on a date with a rapper. Just to say, I checked it off my bucket list because I kept coming across women, not a lot of women, but just women here and there who will be like, oh, yeah, I dated this rapper. I went on a date with him, or I dated this football player, and it wasn't like no big name. They were just not like they were second or third string. They was literally on the same team and stuff. And I kept trying to figure out where are y'all for this to happen? Like, why is this not happening for me? And that's again that comparison spirit, that envy. I didn't speak about that envy spirit. All of that kept was the devil was using these people's stories to make me angry and just could not understand. Like I thought they said, oh, this is the biggest lie that I've been told. Pretty privilege. It's not real. It's not a thing. Like it's not. You
It
have
is.
to say that again.
I said it is.
So explain to me why you say it is.
I feel like, well, pretty privilege to me means certain things was done for you just based on your looks.
Okay.
So, prime example, I have a friend who has a guy who pays all her bills, never slept with him, went out on a date, of course, or whatever, but never slept with him, never done nothing physical. But she told me, he told her that because you look fine as hell, excuse my French, fine as hell, I feel like you shouldn't be paying for nothing.
Oh,
Mm.
So
Tevin,
I
I got a
really feel
question.
like,
Hold
huh?
on, wait. I got a question. Once you finish, I got a question.
No, no, I just say I really feel like there is a pretty privilege out there. That's all I was gonna say.
So maybe we had to get her on the podcast one day.
Reach out to
Because my question would be to both of them. Both of them can come on the podcast, and I would ask, like, sir and ma'am, what exactly? Because here's what I do know: you can't. I'm telling you what I know. You can't. No matter if you're attractive or not,
right.
a man is only going to keep doing that for so long. You're going to have to do something
Yeah,
with. Like, he's wanting something. He's not just doing that
no, I
for a
do
reason.
agree with that.
And then on
Well, I
top of
mean,
that,
outside of the a man doing something for a woman, well, pretty privilege is also something in society in general as well. Like, for instance, in some clubs, they let the attractive women in the clubs first. They literally
Hmm.
line.
really, that's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, Instagram stars gets more likes if they look pretty. That's like something that, I mean, pretty privilege does exist, but it depends on the area of society you're talking about.
yeah,
Just
Well,
like the
okay.
Home Depot girl. Y'all remember the Home Depot girl that went viral on
yeah,
Facebook?
yeah.
Yeah, this man
And
said,
Shaq hit her up in the in the DMs and stuff.
everybody started to do that trend.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
I
think she
mean,
got fired from that. I think.
damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So I'm not really, I don't pay attention to the media like that, so
yeah,
I don't
yeah. I
know.
think she had got let go for all that traction she caused.
Damn.
I don't know I gotta go see the video. But what I'm saying is, Tevin, I mean, but here's the thing about it as well, though, right? On
Right.
top of that, how do we don't really know? Let's just keep it all the way real. That's your homegirl, and I'm not saying this is about her, but we don't know what she's really doing. People are gonna only tell you what they want to tell you. We don't
True.
know if she really
True.
is doing some
That's
type of prostitute, and I'm no disrespect, but I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
we don't know
Oh,
if
that's
she's
real.
doing
That's
a
real.
prostitution type of act. We don't know they're secretly in some type of relationship. We don't know what type of deal that they have. This could
Right.
be love don't cost a thing. Okay?
So
Yes, that's a movie. All right. This could be a love don't cost a thing type of moment. We don't know. Because
So let me
again,
ask you this.
go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that women use looks, their own looks, as leverage to get something out of someone?
Of course,
Oh
I used to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
pretty privileged as well. That's a part of
yeah.
that. That's a
That's
Oh,
part of
true.
it.
That's true.
okay. Let me say this. When I used to work in the service industry, I would have a lot of men. A lot of men. Oh my gosh, you're so pretty, and everything else. And again, service. I'm getting tips. A lot of those guys who would say you're really pretty. I want to talk to you X, Y, and Z. I want to take you out. Many of them didn't even leave me a tip. Like 100% of men who told me that, only 30% of them will leave me a tip. 30%.
Mm.
So my question is this though, Tevin.
What's up?
Me being attractive, men seeing this, they're freaking drooling. Why did they not leave a 10, 20, $30 tip? And when I'm sitting there, talking with them and everything. Why
You
do you think
probably
they
didn't
didn't
show
do
no
it?
interest back into them.
No, I was. I smile. I'm very friendly. I'm smiling, making them feel comfortable and everything else.
No. Was it like, do you act like, okay, I'm smiling because I work at a customer service job and I have to respect my customers, or you was flirting back with them, like you was seriously wanting them, like showing that you want them back?
I don't know. I was just being me. I was just sitting here making jokes and laughs and everything
And
else like that.
that's the thing. You don't see what men are looking for. Men want you. They want to do something with you. And to you, in your eyes, you're thinking, oh, let me just do something that I do with everybody else. Like just give you a nice conversation, nice
That's
love.
a
She wants to know if you want to come home with them. She wants to see proof that you want them back as
And
much
that's
as.
that's where he would have given me some extra tips.
Yeah, I mean, look at
no.
Hooters. Look at Hooters. Hooters are naturally designed only
Right.
for the pretty, sexy women, right? That's what Hooters are designed to do. That's another thing that goes to pretty privilege. If you don't have the right pretty boobs, they will not hire you. And I never even ate at Hooters before.
I haven't
I don't
either.
want to, but the thing is, that's something that I've researched and I do know. So I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
so go ahead, Tevin. You
Go
have
ahead,
a point
I'm
that you
sorry,
want
Tevin.
to
I'm
say.
sorry,
Go ahead,
Tevin.
Tevin. Okay, probably lost him. He might be still traveling, but so okay. So basically, what you're basically saying is, if I would have, you know, probably
Hey, can y'all hear me?
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
back. Go
back.
ahead,
I'm
Tevin. What's
sorry
your
Okay,
about
my
answer?
that.
bad, my bad, yeah, my
What,
bad.
what's your
Uh,
what is your answer?
I was gonna really just piggyback what he said because I feel like it's just a genuine. Like even though this man probably has like dirty intentions with you as far as like trying to get in your drawers or whatever, it's genuine. So in response, we just looking for genuine. So if you're gonna flirt back, I need to feel that it's genuine instead of like what he said, you're just doing this because this is a part of your job. And we could feel that. It's like a sixth sense that we have or something in our DNA that can
Yeah.
tell like I could tell you just playing off how I'm feeling and not really trying to reciprocate, even though I'm coming at you with like, hey, I'm trying to, get you somewhere.
Yep, that's true.
But if it's still, like I said, if it's not genuine, we're gonna leave it right at that. Just a thought and just words. That's it.
No,
Yep.
okay. And I guess you know what. So I guess maybe the reason when I mentioned about the pretty, because I've asked other women who are
Yeah.
very attractive, and I was like, oh my gosh, I bet men just throw their money and wallet at you. It's like, girl, please, I got a job. I don't have time to be waiting on no man or anything else in that manner. Like, yeah, they'll say that I'm pretty, but like they're not trying to just empty their wallet on me to get to know me. They literally are. They're like, we're not. I'm not going to be a part of that. So again, I think, and I'm gonna like say wrap this up, so we can go ahead and get out of here and everything. I kept being so confused because a lot of men like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, like wow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you with a smile. And I was being as genuine as I can, and they still wouldn't come out the pockets. They'd be like, oh, let me get your number, and I'm like, and this is after, listen, I'd be like, let me just see. Again, I'm after talking with them, and then they will ask for my number. I'm like, let me see if they left a tip. No, I'm okay. And they never, I said, no, I'm okay. Thank you, though, right? If they would have left a tip, then I would have been like, okay. But they did it. And one guy actually asked me, like, what made you decide to, exchange numbers? I said, because you left me a tip. That's why you sold into my business. I mean, they go really anywhere for that. I told him the truth. He's like, oh, okay. I mean, we talked a little bit after that, and that was about it. But nothing really happened from that. So, for me personally, I was just kind of wondering that. But hey, like I said, it's. I will say this, man. First, I'll thank you all so much for definitely coming on the show. I do appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it was a vibe.
Yes, I will, and Tevin, definitely come back. Whenever you can grace us with your presence, man. But one of the things that we gotta stop doing as women or people in general, we need to stop living this la la land. Like you said, it's that point, 0.5% of a millionaire walking to McDonald's saying, "I'm gonna choose you," right? Like it's that 0.5%. It's not. It's not. We can't think like that. And pretty privilege exists, to a standpoint. It's not like, okay, if you're in the mall and you see a supermodel walk in, men are just gonna sit here and like carry her. It's not like that. Sometimes some of these men won't even approach her because they get social anxiety or whatever. So yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, listen, man, this has been a great episode as always. I thank you to my audience. I thank you to my special guests. You guys have been great. I
Thank you.
love
Thank
the
you.
laughs, man. Glad that this was a great conversation. We got a chance. And by the way, the answer is, am I being a man impressing a woman? So that's my answer. So I do appreciate you guys. You guys have been great. You guys have been great, man. So with all that being said, to everybody else, please, man, make sure you keep God first. Make sure you put your seatbelt on. Please stop smoking cigarettes. I'm tired of y'all folks smoking cigarettes, okay? I hope cigarettes start going up to $300 a pack, okay? I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of walking. I'm like, what is that? Oh, nostrils done burnt off, okay? And please, man, start taking care of your kids, man. Why is that that you got a Birkin bag, but your kids are still wearing the same clothes that got stained? Bro, please stop. That being said, man, listen, y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed.